3, 2, 1, blast off with some spiralicious airtime on a free-falling roller coaster. Coming up, it's V2, Vertical Velocity, a Northern California design phenomenon. All you have to do is look at the screaming, laughing faces of roller coaster riders to know that designing a coaster is all about creating a fantasy. And that fantasy is experiencing the most intense thrills imaginable, but without the danger.
I think everyone likes to test the edge. I don't think everyone can be a race car driver or a skydiver. Roller coaster ride provides that same thrill, but it does it safely.
Ever watch those guys up in space floating around? They're astronauts. They're having the ultimate zero-G fantasy. Notice the smiles on their faces. Well, if zero G's and airtime is what you earthbound dreamers are looking for, then a trip to Northern California's Six Flags Marine World will take you out of this world. V2, Vertical Velocity, is a gravity-defying twister of a shuttle coaster. What's a shuttle coaster? It's the kind that doesn't complete a full circuit out of the station and back like a traditional coaster. This modern-style roller coaster goes forward to one end, then backwards to the other. And Vertical Velocity is a shuttle coaster so much like another kind of shuttle, you just might think you're leaving Earth's gravity and flying through outer space.
Vertical Velocity is an inverted impulse coaster. Inverted in that the seats hang from overhead rails. Impulse in that it uses linear induction motors to launch the coaster.
With a vertical spiral on the front tower where you rotate 360 degrees as you're heading up towards the clouds in zero G.
It has that unique corkscrew twist, which you're experiencing both forward and backwards because it's at the end of this giant spike.
And then you do it backwards, heading back down towards the ground. As you go up the back tower on V2, you're going absolutely vertical, which means you have zero force of gravity. You're completely in zero G, floating around in the seat, between the seat and the restraint.
It's almost like being in a giant swing, being pushed. Every time you come forward, you're also being pushed backwards. You climb the front and rear towers 5 times.
It's a wild ride from start to finish.
These days that we're coming up, the launched coaster system is a big thing. That's just a different kind of thrill. It's still a gravity coaster once it leaves the launch. You're just replacing the lift with something else. So instead of anticipation, you just get thrill.
And the gravity-defying propulsion system for this rocket roller coaster, LIMS, or linear induction motors.
The linear synchronous motors that propel Vertical Velocity are very similar to the electric motors you would find in a fan or a hairdryer in your own home, except instead of imparting a circular motion, they impart a linear motion. Electromagnetic power pushes the train first in one direction. As it comes back, it again magnetically pushes the train in the backward direction.
LIMS have definitely changed the design of coasters in general because, well, now you can accelerate trains from anywhere on the track with simply a set of limbs.
So now, climb aboard V2, buckle yourself in, and count down to terror. The first set of induction motors shoot you up 70 miles an hour into the first 185-foot tower. The 360-degree spiral is 100% space shuttle. Let gravity take over as you drop backwards. Back through the station. Limbs kick in. Up the second tower, 150 feet, zero gravity, airtime. Stare 90 degrees down at the merciless Earth. V2 drops you and your stomach back and forth 4 more times. V2, it's got vertical, it's got velocity, and it's very, very scary. So, if you've ever wanted to find out what it's like to go into orbit, V2 at Six Flags Marine World is the way to get there.